All right, guys, today we're getting ready to take a joyride with Keanu because Speed is next, this time out on Drew Reviews. Guys, to me, people forget just how big of a movie Speed was. This movie, on a $30 million budget, made like $350 million at the box office. And that was in a loaded year with action movies like True Lies, like Time Cop, which I just absolutely love. Some great drama with some action that year too. Like you had Shawshank Redemption, Interview with a Vampire, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump. It was just a loaded year for movies. So the fact that this took off, this little movie about a bus, that can't go under 50 miles an hour or the bomb explodes, just blew my mind that something that simple, but sometimes the simplest formulas work. Of course, this movie stars Keanu Reeves, and he was on his way up at the time. He had just done the Bill and Ted stuff. He had really bombed with Dracula a year or two before. But he'd done Point Break, which I really liked, which kind of broke him into the action game. And this one kind of solidified him. Later on, he'd do The Matrix, and he was the guy. But this kind of got him there, and you know, him and his partner, played by Jeff Daniels, they're work for the LAPD. They're anti-terrorist, anti-bomb guys, and I love that first scene where they're getting the people out of the elevator with the bombs, taking out the brakes. They just get those people out. So then you got the bad guy in this movie, played by Dennis Hopper. I'll talk about him when I get to my cons in this movie. He gets a personal vendetta against Jack. It becomes a cat and mouse because Jack costs him all this money, all this time setting up this elevator job. And so he plants this bomb on this bus, and it can't go under 50 miles an hour. And Keanu figures it out, gets on there. There's this great cast of characters on that bus. You got Sandra Bullock, the character of Annie. They had this great scene I love where he's got Jeff Daniels in his earpiece, and he's like, "Where might the bomb be?" And he's like, "Check under the floorboard panel." And so she's driving the bus, and he's kind of between her legs and looks up, and "It's clean, Harry." And she goes, "Huh?" That's just a little thing in that movie I'd never noticed before that really made me laugh. The bus driver, I can't remember what I've seen him in, but I really like him. Luis, the construction guy on there. One of the actors in there that was the tourist, he was actually in one of John DeBont's other movies, Twister, that he did after this. And he was really good in this movie as well. I just really enjoyed the actor choices in this movie. The chief of police is Joe Morton from Terminator 2, Brother from Another Planet. Just a really good actor. But the action scenes, guys, we all know about them in this movie. They don't know that Dennis Hopper's character has this camera on board just yet, and so they're trying to offload people, onto this flatbed truck. This girl gets blown up on the steps. That was a pretty good action piece there. The driver ends up getting shot in a melee on the bus. You've got Keanu. He's trying to get underneath the bus and see what kind of bomb it is, and they've got him on a creeper on this line. I really like that action piece too. Of course, the thing ends up breaking. He's holding on. He has to take his knife and stab it through the gas tank just to hold on. And now they're leaking gas on top of everything else. The tension building in this was really good as well. Just masterfully done. I like the part in the movie where they realize the road's out and they're going to have to do something, but they can't slow down the bus. So they decide to jump the bus. And on the speedometer, it only goes up to 70 miles an hour. And so are they going to make the jump? Are they not? Some really good tension there as well. And in this movie, Keanu has a little bit more of a presence about him than he had in like Point Break, and especially in Dracula, where it was really rough. There was only a couple of different spots in his delivery I thought where I might give that a second take. I can't remember exactly where it was, so it must not have been too bad. Uh, Jeff Daniels in this movie, he cracks me up. He was pretty good in this, but there's a scene where after they save those people and they get their commendations, their medals of valor or whatever, they're at the bar, and Jeff Daniels also put out Dumb and Dumber in 1994. Where he oddly enough played another character named Harry. And Drunk Harry in Speed reminds me a whole lot of Harry in Dumb and Dumber. Just the way he played that character. They're basically one and the same. Sandra Bullock is really good in this movie. I really liked her performance. This was the movie where I think she kind of broke out. After this, she got the net. I really liked her previous to this in The Vanishing and The Thing Called Love. Really enjoyed A Thing Called Love, and I'm going to review that on this channel at some point. It's more of a drama, but it's definitely worth a watch. The cinematography in this movie is really good. They're all kinds of places downtown in LA, trying, going through cars, smashing stuff on this bus that can't drop below 50. So, the cinematography, the locations, and the tension all work really well together, as does the music. The musical score was really good in this movie. The only place in this movie where I felt it really failed was the villain. And I like Dennis Hopper as an actor, although he's just so over the top in everything, from clear back dating the first time I saw him, which I think was that Texas Chainsaw, a sequel that he did. He's over the top in that. He's over the top in Super Mario Brothers. After this movie, he's over the top in Waterworld. And I thought maybe if they had kind of a more grounded actor, it would seem like more of a threat. There's some scenes in this where his dialogue is pretty rough. That scene where the ink goes off in his money, my money, and just the way he delivered that line, it wasn't good to me. All I can think, and I said this in our versus we did over at Macho Movie Madness, where we put the best Die Hard clones up against each other, Speed versus Under Siege. I said this in that if Gary Oldman wasn't doing The Professional that year, which is another movie I forgot from '94, how good would Gary Oldman have been in this role? As the bomber, or if you want to go over the top, Jack Nicholson. Just to me, Dennis Hopper, I know a lot of people like him, and I don't mind him, but in a serious movie like this, you needed a more serious actor to play that villain. But overall, man, this is a really solid movie, and when I do my ranking of 1994, this is going to be there in that top five. I don't know where, probably top three. It's really good. Um, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I think the tension's just so good. I think the performances, Dennis Hopper aside, and I don't hate him. Um, I think they're pretty solid for the most part. Just a definite watch as far as Speed's concerned. Speed 2, the less we talk about that, the better. They should have hit it and quit it with the Speed franchise as far as I'm concerned. But just some breakout performances here from Keanu, from Sandra Bullock. It's great to see Joe Morton again. It's great to see Jeff Daniels in anything. Let me know down in the comments what you think of Speed. Am I being too hard on Dennis Hopper in this, or do you guys think the same thing I think? That, man, you need to tame that crap down. But yeah, guys, as always, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Um, might be putting up some community polls. Be looking for those where you get to vote on what I actually review on this channel. I like doing that for you guys. It also helps me gauge what you guys want to see and what kind of movies you guys want to see. Hope to eventually get my way back to kind of sci-fi and sci-fi action, but right now I'm having a lot of fun, just watching straight action movies like this. So yeah, so be on the lookout for polls and all that other stuff. Guys, I've been Andrew. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the line on the next Drew Reviews.